After tangling with a 25-pound cinnamon roll in Washington, I went to film a couple videos with Aaron's food adventures, and then it was time to start heading home. We stopped by Portland on the long drive south and checked out some of the downtown sights and sounds, saw the world's biggest bookstore, rode the Portland Air Tram, which was actually scary for a first-timer, checked out some donut and ice cream shops, and finally continued south into Salem to cross paths with the 5-pound Goliath Burger at Adam's Rib Smokehouse. You get an hour to polish off this enormous hamburger and a side of fries for the chance at a refund, t-shirt, and a picture on the Wall of Fame. Losers pay $30 for their meal. Did I conquer the burger? Or did Adam's Rib have the last laugh? No fanfare, no BS, no stalling. It's time for a challenge. Welcome back to another Freak Eating Challenge. The journey through Oregon is almost complete, but there's one last big meal before we get back into California. This Goliath Burger was on my interest list since my first visit to the state in 2012. I couldn't do it then because you needed to call ahead and pre-order the giant buns they used to make the burger with. Since I knew that now, I made the proper reservation for the 2018 spring break trip. The burger is predictably humongous. I can't say it's the biggest burger I've ever eaten, but it's way bigger than anything I'd eat on a normal day. I like the flavor and texture of the beef patty. Since this restaurant is actually a smokehouse, cooking meat is their specialty, and they use a seasoning blend that's distinctive, smoky, but not spicy, and a big change from a lot of the mom and pop burger challenges that feel like a generic grilled slab of beef. I appreciated that no part of the 2-pound beef patty was burned. It had the same general consistency all the way through. The 2-pound hunk of ground beef was adorned with a sizable salad. The lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and pickles on top, the meat, worked very well to help break up the flavor and give your mouth a different texture to work with. The bun was a bit dense. For some reason, it reminded me of some potato breads that I'd eaten in the past. A great tasting bun, but a bit heavy on a burger of this size. I imagine that someone who really wanted to move fast on this challenge would have dipped it in water, but I was more interested in a peaceful dining experience. After so many days of traveling and doing big food challenges, especially after that giant cinnamon roll, my body wasn't interested in me pushing hard that day. Thankfully, it was only a 5-pound challenge and I had an hour to complete everything. I put in a solid workout that morning at the hotel fitness room, but sometimes even that's not enough to get your body primed. I was very grateful that the burger tasted as good as it did. The fries were cooked with a special seasoning that reminded me of mildly spicy barbecue sauce. They were also a bit soft, which I found unusually enjoyable. It was probably a sign that my jaw was happy to do as little chewing as possible. Fun fact, the owners of Adam's Rib Smokehouse actually came out to talk to me during the challenge. It was totally unplanned. I didn't even know they were there. They were incredibly nice and asked me about my Instagram page and YouTube account, and they wanted to make sure I made a video about their challenge and shared it with them once it was live. No doubt I will do that. Doing it right now. They talked about the history of the challenge and suggested that maybe during my next trip to Oregon I could do it again. Who knows? I enjoyed the overall dining experience and I would come back, but I don't necessarily need to eat their 5-pound burger again. The decor on the walls was interesting too. I liked all the old school memorabilia and flags and things on the wall, and I appreciated how different the culture was in this restaurant compared to several I'd been to in Portland and even in California for that matter. They actually had religious music playing on the radio, and there were some religious themed posters on the wall. One of the things I actually enjoy about going to new places is getting to see up close how differently people live their lives. Actually, I don't remember the last time I sat in a restaurant and I heard Christian music playing. You have to remember I live in Southern California and everyone around here listens to rap or alternative. Of course, I'm just joking. You can't paint any region with one brush, but in general terms, I don't hear religious music where I'm dining. Even my family members who happen to be religious rarely play Christian music. It's just an observation. And I don't know why, but I got a huge kick out of the giant hourglass they used to time you during this challenge. I thought that this big sand clock was totally badass. I even took a few pictures with it. You can count on me to take ridiculous photos wherever I am. Eventually, I went onto Amazon.com and ordered myself an hourglass to use for future videos. My idea is to have a series on my channel based on 60-minute challenges or mukbangs or big food reviews, whatever works at the time. But obviously, I haven't started those up yet. For the moment, I just need to work on editing and posting all the food videos that I have on my hard drive. Spoiler alert, there's one more challenge from the spring break trip coming up, and it actually takes place in Northern California on the way home. It was a giant team pizza, but I tried it without a partner, so you have that to look forward to soon. Boom goes the dynamite. Oregon Mania 3 comes to a close with a delicious victory over the Goliath Burger Challenge and a sweet t-shirt to take home. Thank you to the entire staff of Adams Rib Smokehouse for making my last meal in the state of Oregon memorable. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video and hit that bell to stay notified about future freak eating challenges. Until we eat again, stay in school, don't do drugs, and eat like a